we have a very special friend of ours, Anirban Misra, who will be talking about the Einstein's theory of relativity. He joined the Weizmann Institute of Science in Israel, where he worked in the neurobiology department as a part of MRI experiments, where he used to study interdisciplinary physics. And now he's back to India, where he will be continuing his research work in the Raman Research Institute, Bangalore.
In the B's frame, since the light rays are reaching the light receiver a different amount of time, for the left receiver, it will reach faster, and the left receiver will receive the light at a faster rate. So something moving, the rear clock will always move ahead of time than the front clock attached to the moving object. Then muons have a tendency that after getting generated in the 10 kilometers above Earth surface, they tend to move towards the Earth. Now, the highest distance that they can cover from the point of generation downward will be 2.2 microsecond into this speed, and it will be 659 meter only. So if there is, so you can understand there is no chance that muons can reach the Earth's surface, which is 10 kilometers down. With experimentally, people have put muon detectors on Earth and have received not one or two muons which have somehow got there or somehow accidentally they have captured it. They have captured showers of muons. There is a lighthouse, and the lighthouse is shining light on a boat which is in the ocean, which is named A. Now, in a very short interval of time, if I rotate the source of the light from the lighthouse and remove the light from boat A and focus it on another boat which is also in the ocean, B, then if we take the distance among these two boats, AB, and divide it with the time that we took to rotate the light source, then this quantity can be greater than the speed of C. So people thought they have discovered something. They have discovered something which has higher speed than light. When we add them with the imaginary line and extrapolate it, they intersect only one time point in the prime time frame. So they are happening simultaneously in one frame. But if I take the same events and construct and in the intercepts, which are in the unprime frame, which is in proper frame, they turn out to be W1 and W2, which are two different time stamps. If something is simultaneous in one frame, it is not always simultaneous in other reference frame. There goes the past, present, future of the time-space diagram. Now, anyway, Einstein was not very satisfied with this theory. So, because of the presence of a mass or energy, there is a deformation in space and time, and because of the deformation in space-time membrane, there will be curvature. There will be a curved path of light instead of straight path of light. You can see it happens in this way. As the mass is moving, the space and time is getting curved and distorted on its vicinity. Now, with respect to someone who is outside of gravitational influence, the places which are under gravitational influence, the clocks of that place will run slow. Just as see, as the Earth is there, the light is coming from the star, is reaching Earth, and the Earth is seeing an apparent position of the star at that point. So this is what happens. The time you turn on the button in your location, 4 satellites takes care of you. 3 satellites determine at which position you are. They send signals. Each of them sends signals to your phone and then device. Each of them sends signal to your device and gets it back by the reflection and calculates that the XYZ coordinate of you. The 4th satellite actually determines the time, the specific time, the point, the infinitely small point at which the whole mass of the star is concentrated is called a singularity. And the gravitational field is so strong around the singularity that there is a certain radius, which is called the event horizon, within which the escape velocity is greater than c, the speed of light, which actually translates as nothing can escape from that position. That Einstein never really bothered what people thought about him or how people perceived him. He just kept on doing his own thing. He was the only person who actually knew how the universe is working. So I'm just saying that in your life or in anyone's life, in research life, if you have this kind of hunch towards something and you have a strong feeling that your guts are right, then just go for it. Even if it is wrong, still then you will have a deeper understanding of the subject, which is far more important than any kind of degree.
One question that I
Yes.
actually had while you were describing the Eddington part, that how he proved in 1919 the GTR, the bending of light part, there are two positions, right? Actual
Yeah.
position and apparent position.
Mhm.
So my question is that if you are on Earth, okay, so you are getting the apparent position, right? You know
Yes.
the apparent position because Eddington actually measured the apparent position. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
how will you verify? How are you verifying the actual position of star? That is my question.
Well, it's a very nice question. He chose to understand that what will be the apparent position at the only time of solar eclipse when they are reasonably in straight line, as you saw, right? So it was just like in straight line. There was star, then there was sun, and then there was Earth. So it was like reasonably in straight line, and that's why he chose so that he can understand the apparent part. The actual position of the star was already known because it is not always the position of solar eclipse. The Earth is rotating, revolving around the sun. So the star is not always at the same as so the Earth is not at the relative position with the star all the time. It was only at the solar eclipse that he actually understood that it could be displaced this much, and this displacement was calculated by the theory of relativity.
Okay.
Just because you know the names quantum and relativity, if anyone tells you that I know this quantum physics and everything, that in this film they saw this quantum phenomenon and everything, if they speak like that, then just remember that there is a difference between knowing the name of things and knowing the things. And this is not said by me, this is said by Richard Feynman, who is one of the greatest physicists that the Earth has seen.
That's what we try to do here at Researcher on Web. We try to show you the truth behind the pop culture science and to make all science enthusiasts familiar with what the world of research is doing nowadays. And in that process, give some recognition to the researchers, something that is very much lacking nowadays.